Well, it's 2024, made for disappointments when it comes to movies. What is happening, guys? Back at you with another video. So I'm continuing on with the series of videos with 2024 movies, the best, most disappointing, and most surprising movies of 2024. So recently I did put out a most surprising movies of 2024 video, so check that out if you haven't yet. But this video is going to be centered around the most disappointing movies of 2024. Now I will say there's probably not going to be too many movies on this list. When it comes to 2024, I was really selective on which movies I actually did check out, which movies I actually did watch. And really not too many movies disappointed me in 2024 just because of the way I guided myself to not watching movies that got certain buzz around them to where they may be disappointing movies or they were bad movies. If they had that certain buzz around them, I just decided not to go ahead and check it out because I didn't want to set myself up for disappointment or to be mad at what I saw. So I kind of guided myself through 2024 to just not check out those movies at all. And there was even some movies in 2024 to where I had low expectations for them, and for the most part they met those low expectations, so I can't really say I was disappointed by them. But let's go ahead and get into this list of disappointing movies of 2024. Starting off with a Zack Snyder film that came out. That is going to be Rebel Moon Part 2, whatever subtitle he decided to give it. And what this one was, part 1 was okay. It was an alright, okay movie. It was at least passable for me to be able to check out part 2. And lo and behold, we get part 2 finally a couple months later in 2024 on Netflix. And I watched that movie and I was left disappointed after watching that movie. To where it was just something about that movie. When it comes to Zack Snyder, he's usually a hit or miss director for me. And this one was definitely a total miss for me. It was just weird how this movie was. It was supposed to be, his Star Wars, his variation of Star Wars, as he said. And in a sense, we do get that, but it's just not good. It's not a good representation of that. And I just ended up not liking the movie at all. I was disappointed. I was left disappointed after watching it and checking it out. So that was definitely a big disappointment. And then lo and behold, he comes out saying that he's going to have director cuts of both the parts. And to be honest, I waited to see, to hear other people's review on those parts or, those director cuts. And just waited to hear, what other people were thinking about it. And some other people I trusted, they actually ended up watching it. And I heard what they had said about it. And I was like, forget that. I'm not going to check those director cuts out. As the saying goes, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fuck that, you're not fooling me again. And this is going to be the only other movie that ended up disappointing me this year. This is a movie that I pretty much was guaranteed to go check out in theaters, and after watching this movie, I was just left with such disappointment. And that's going to be Joker 2, Folie à Deux. Man, things I could say about this movie that hasn't already been said already. A lot of people were very disappointed with this movie. There's only probably a select few that I've actually heard that ended up kind of liking this movie, but there's not that many people that ended up liking this movie. There's very few in between that ended up liking this. And with this movie, it was just such a disappointment for me and a lot of other people. The first movie I think is amazing. It's very amazing movie, the way that they're able to tell the story of the character of the Joker in a sense to where we just got great performances from that movie, especially from Joaquin Phoenix as the titular character. So when it comes to this movie, the build up to this movie, and we're getting different news, rumors, and things about it. Supposedly it's going to be a musical or jukebox musical style type of movie. I don't know how I felt about that exactly, but I waited to watch it and see what I thought about it. We had Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn in here. And just overall, this movie, I just left disappointed with this movie after checking it out in theaters. I was like, what were they doing exactly with this movie? Like, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly. Director was coming out, supposedly was saying like how this movie was supposed to be like a deconstruction of why, like basically a throw it in your face type of movie. To where in a sense he was kind of in a way bashing on the people that liked the first original movie, so he made this one in response to that. Basically, I don't know, like I was saying before, when I was watching this movie, it felt like it was a self-sabotage type of movie to where The director seemed like he didn't really want to like. Of course, he probably didn't want to make this movie. He was kind of saying he didn't want to make this movie, but of course, money talks. And Warner Brothers, everybody behind this making of the movie, of course, had to make it. And it was kind of funny hearing about the budget too. That it was like a $200 million plus budget, and when only the first movie I think was like what around 60, 50, 60 something mil for the first original movie, and this one blew up to like 200 plus, maybe 250. I think they were saying. And I was like, where did all that money go? Where did the budget go for this movie? Because I don't know, it's not really on display in this movie to where all this money was used or how it was used. So it's very interesting on the behind the scenes stuff about this movie. But overall, it was just a big disappointment on what we got with Joker Folie à Deux. So luckily, well, hopefully at least, we're probably not going to get any more Joker movies, well, at least within this series. But I mean, it was interesting on what they were able to do with this movie. But in the end, like I said, just a huge disappointment. So that's going to do it for my biggest disappointments of 2024. Like I was saying before, if it got buzzed that it was going to be end up being bad or just like a disappointing movie, I just stayed clear away from it, guided myself to not even check those movies out. There's definitely quite a few movies that I was planning or at least maybe going to check out, but after hearing buzz about them not actually being good or not basically being disappointing movies, I decided to just stay clear from them, not even check them out, not even watch them, so I could not set myself up for disappointment. So, with that being said, those are just the two movies that disappointed me this past year in 2024. So, let me know down in the comments below what movies ended up disappointing you. But that's going to do it all for this video. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the next one.